Hello and greetings. My name is Vantuj. I'm a research fellow at the University of Melbourne School of Geography, Earth and Atmospheric Science. On this project, I'm playing a role as an in-country coordinator, and I'm also leading the project activity 3, Farmer Field Sensors. In continuation from the previous presentations, especially Activity 1, the semi-structured interviews with international and Cambodian expert extensionists led by Dr. Paula Sintizabor, and the project Activity 2 at Census of Farm Households led by Dr. Arian Otomo. So this Activity 3 of the project focus more on what is happening out there on the farm. So this activity aims to address 3 main research questions, which include what have farmers done and what are farmers doing on their lands. Research question number 2, what are the factors affecting yield and cross-margin components under farmers' field conditions? And the last research question is about how can the identified factors lifting productivity and profitability be tried by a large number of farmers on their own interest and evaluations. To address this research question, we plan to select 100 maize farmers, 100 cassava farmers, and another 100 rice farmers from the list of household sensors of the project activity 2. And we would like to ask each of them to nominate one field to be monitored with us from planting to harvesting. We also plan to do a large area of field surveys and also to do interviews with farmers, as well as running a number of village workshops. With the main observations to be recorded, we plan to gather different data like soil, cropping histories, farm inputs, price and disease, and practice that has been applied by farmers. We also plan to gather some additional information, including household characteristic and other complexity of the household that may explain the reasons behind their decision and their applied practices. In this part, I'd like to talk about database management and data analysis. First, we plan to use ComCare as a digital tool for gathering data from the selected fields and farmers through interviews. The data that we collected will be stored on ComCare server, and if we want to export it, we can export it into Excel. As we continue collecting more and more data, we are building up a larger data set. For this reason, we are considering to use SQL. It's a structured query language program. It's a standardized programming language that is used to manage relational database. So this will help us better managing the larger data sets. And we plan to use R for our data analysis. With the statistical analysis, we plan to perform different tests and analysis, such as exploratory analysis. So this type of analysis help us to have a good understanding and summarizing the data that we collected. And with multivariate analysis, which include PCA, principal component analysis, and cluster analysis, this multivariate analysis allow us to extract useful or important information from a dataset with multiple variables or observations. Then we can classify them into different groups or categories. We also plan to do another statistical test and regression analysis. So we plan to do with relevant. With the output from the analysis, we should be able to meaningfully group crop yields of farmers into different groups, say low, medium, and high yield groups. Then we explore or walk backward, more like a backcasting methodology, trying to understand what cropping practices or farm inputs were used by farmers. We also want to understand why farmers did what they did. What were their challenges and limitations, stopping them from maximizing the yield. We also want to find out how can sustainable agricultural intensification practices be successfully promoted in a larger scale. Moving on here is about some of the arrangements and processes of the field activity. It's slightly repeated, but it should provide additional or a clearer picture about the activity. We will start by identifying farmers to work with us. Then we prepare crop record forms for the use by farmers and digital templates for our project team to use. So after that, we will prepare field sampling guide for the use by farmers and our team. Soon after the crops harvested, we will perform data analysis and identify key factors that affect crop yields and cross margin. Then we will organize village workshops to present preliminary findings to farmers. Then we will discuss with them about the upcoming season fieldworks activities. Next up, here it's last slide. Expected outputs from the activity. So we expect to undertake surveys of 3 large areas of lowland and highland cropping production system and practices over a 2-year period. We expect to at least train 300 farmers so that they can work with us on this field census activity. We expect to identify factors depressing or lifting crop yields and cross margins. We expect to consult the improved practice with farmers to be trial on their own fields. Then finally, we expect to document seasonal and annual trend information by crops and its productions. Well, I think that's all for my talk. I thank you for watching this pre-record presentation. Have a good day or night. Thank you.